This season of Beyond the Brand is brought to you by Leader. For more information, visit leader.co.
Success in business isn't just about working harder. It's about working smarter by design. Our next guest is the man companies call when they're ready to bridge the gap between their current reality and their ultimate potential. Paul McMurray is the founder of Insight Management Consulting, where he specializes in streamlining operations, developing high-performance cultures, and providing the strategic insight necessary for sustainable growth. Please welcome Paul Murray. And Paul, your firm is called Insight Management Consulting. I've got to ask, what is the common blind spot you see even the most successful CEOs struggling with today?
Boy, I think the biggest one is they think they're good listeners, and they're not. And yeah, we had a CEO once who said, "Yeah, my team is really good," and then you ask the team, and they don't want to offer anything because he reacts negatively when they say something he doesn't like. They stop telling him bad news, and I think that's just common throughout most companies.
And how do you change that? How do you make a CEO or a leader of a company become a good listener? Because there's a difference in listening and being a good listener.
Yeah, because you can actually listen, but you're going to listen for what you want. Over the last, 18 months to, well, actually longer than that, but over the last 2 years, I've spent a lot of time looking at what goes on in our head when we're listening to somebody speak. And oftentimes I've labeled these listening disruptors. And I'm listening to you and I want to solve your problem before you've even finished telling me what your problem is. Or I want to finish your sentence before you've said it. And it's those listening disruptors that derail conversations, that cause employees to not want to speak up. And if leaders can catch themselves before that urge to speak and let others finish, they feel valued, they feel heard, and they engage better, they engage differently. And the secret is catching them at that moment when you want to finish their sentence or solve their problem they didn't want you to solve.
What are some tips or tricks that you can help give to leaders to become good listeners? I mean, other than duct tape across their mouth.
Yeah, it really is it's about being present. In our conversation today, we've got a few minutes and our minds will drift. You might say something that triggers me to think about something that I experienced, but I come right back to it. And I'm listening to what you have to say as you might be listening to mine. But what ends up happening with a disruptor is that I disrupt your flow of meaning to me. And because of that, you stop. And the real secret is to get the leaders, almost anyone, it could be parents at a kitchen table, but to get them to stop the urge to wanting to chime in and to be patient and let people finish their sentences and let them get it out. And then when they do, they may not even need you to problem solve. They may have needed you just to be present and just listen. And in their speaking, they process it and they think, "Oh, thank you for listening." And they're gone. And I think that is the key, is if we can just stop that urge.
You don't just fix spreadsheets. It sounds like you fix cultures. Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah. I left the world of economics. I actually consider myself a recovering economist. I got my PhD in psychology, and there came a time when you'd look around a room and you'd say, people aren't talking. Why aren't they talking? You taught them the skills, how to speak up, how to share their facts first. and it's not safe. And it's not safe because the leader's reactions when they hear something they don't like, or they can't understand why somebody's not understanding their message completely. And so, yeah, to me, it's all about culture. And it changed my life, I don't know, back in 2002, when I left the world of economics and began the world of psychology.
Why did you navigate that change at that point? What did you see?
So I was a strategic planning consultant. I'd done business plans. I'd done marketing plans. And I had a client come to me once and say, I know you don't change cultures, but we need to change our culture. And can you help me find somebody? And I helped them find a group that wrote the book, Crucial Conversations. And it turned out that one of the authors, Ron McMillan, was available for this 18-month project. And so we won the bid, and I watched Ron engage with these CEO, 2 VPs, and 13 managers. And the second I saw him interact with them, I thought, I want to do what Ron does. And 6 months later, I'd quit the firm, I'd started my own, and began my journey in psychology. And I really asked Ron, what do I need to do? And Ron was my mentor for 18 months and just put me on this path. From there, I ended up being a trainer for them I still am, for Crucial Conversations, taught it all over the world. And that led me to think more about not how do we say it, but are we present and listening? And that's really where my passion has been. It's much more on the receiving side than how do I send the message, is how do I receive it?
What does it mean to you when you see that transition, that change after you have worked with a CEO or a leader?
Oh, the light bulbs, they go off. So this organization that Ron worked with, we did quarterly studies to see how we're doing. And after about 12 or 13 months, they came back flat. And we'd say, are we getting better or not? And after a quarter, the CEO calls us in. There were 3 of us, and says, we got a problem because nothing's changing. And I thought, okay, now we're getting fired. And so he basically said, look, we aren't changing anything. And my colleague pulled up the list of the original problems we had identified 18 months earlier. And the CEO says, that is not the organization I work for today. It just, you look at that and think, wow, that is significant change, where the CEO says, no, that's not our company anymore.
If there's a business owner watching right now and they feel like they've plateaued, what is the first diagnostic question they should ask themselves?
Well, I tend to go to the psychology side of that, and that is it safe for our employees to speak up and present bad news or openly discuss something that is unpleasant to hear? That would probably be the first one. And the way you'd ask that is, so when was the last time that somebody brought you bad news or news you did not want to hear? And if they've got a pause at all, you probably have a safety issue. And I think that question is the first diagnostic, is how can we possibly change if people won't talk, bring up issues?
And how do folks get in touch with you to find out more information about Insight Management Consulting?
Well, we have a website, and it's run. I work with my brother, David, and we are together in this journey at findinsight.com, and you can reach us there, and our number's there as well. We're in Maryland. A lot of our clients are federal agencies, and we're on the GSA schedule, so they can reach us there as well.
Well, Paul, thanks so much for your time, and hopefully you can help a lot of CEOs and leaders out there in the world that need the help and need to pause.
Well, thank you.
And we'll be right back with more BizTV right after this.